evening, everyone. Let's call this meeting to order. This is a regular meeting of the Board of Education. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided. Schedule of regular meetings of the Board of Education was adopted at the reorganization meeting on January 7th, 2025. Schedule and notice of said meetings have been posted. All foregoing has been done within the time required by law in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act. And roll call for attendance.
Mr. DeMarco's on a cruise still, lucky boy. Mrs. Falpel?
Here.
Mrs. Love?
Here.
Mrs. Marmion? Here. Mr. McMillan?
Here.
Mrs. Rotondo?
Here.
Mr. Schaefer?
Here.
Mr. Stotts?
Here.
Mr. Tavy?
Here. All stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Got it. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. No executive session at this time and no presentations this evening, so we'll go into Committee of the Whole. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Motion and second. Any topics for Committee of the Whole?
I have a little thing that I was just reminded by our PTA president and secretary of our school that next year is the centennial of the school. So I just wanted on the record that we should start working with Ms. Bolden and maybe reaching out to other community groups. So we're a little probably behind already. Cool. All right. So maybe we can add that as, for committee for next month or something.
All committees?
Anything else? I had a couple quick updates. I just wanted to share with everyone. I shared in our notes. One of the things that has come up over the last month is that the OEA has asked for clarity on the district's position regarding diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. We do have our core value statement as part of our bylaws. Despite any changes that are currently happening at the federal government, we're still held accountable by the New Jersey Department of Education. All the statutes and standards that the curriculum is based on are currently still in effect. So until something official comes down from the federal government and then comes down from the New Jersey Department of Education to us, it's status quo there. The other thing, I just wanted to point out how nice the front of the building looks. We had a group of parents volunteer to plant some native flowers and spruce up the new sidewalk out front. So it looks great. So thankful for them for doing that. Anything else for Committee of the Whole? All right. We get a motion to close. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Future dates and miscellaneous information is in everyone's agenda. I just wanted to point out our public hearing on our budget, since there'll be some changes to that in terms of time and location. So that will be May 6th, which is next week, right? Already, next Tuesday. The public hearing will be held in the cafeteria, since it's a different date than we usually use, and that'll start a little bit earlier than normal as well. That'll start at 5:30 p.m. as opposed to the usual 6:30. So again, May 6th, Board of Ed public hearing on the budget in the cafeteria at 5:30 p.m.
Why are we having that at 5:30 next week?
We added this meeting after we've approved a bunch of other things. I think there's something in this. I think there's somebody's in the library.
Yeah,
There's a
there's some
conflict.
scheduling conflicts.
Yeah. This was a late add-on.
Yeah.
A conflict with Collinswood?
No, somebody's in the Oaklyn library. It was advertised for the cafeteria, so.
At 5:30, there's nothing in the cafeteria at 6:30?
No.
Why don't we have it at 6:30 then?
I think a lot of us.
Yeah, I think it was,
5:30. Healthy Kids is technically in there till like 5:45, but they'll move to the curriculum.
I think there was also scheduled, with it being not part of a regular round of meetings, I think there might have been scheduling conflicts with board members as well.
Yeah,
So
no, my
try to do it
concern
earlier
is
so
our
folks
meetings
can
are
get
always
out.
at 6:30. Now all of a sudden, we're going to go with a budget that's going to have a significant tax increase, and we're going to have it at 5:30.
It was the only time that the board as a quorum could meet, but it was advertised for 5:30, and
I
it is on the
understand it was
website for that
advertised.
time. Right, that's what you have to do.
So,
Bill, do you have a sorry, I can't put my mic on.
Yep, sorry.
Bill, do you have a suggestion of a better way that we can communicate it? We do have a week.
no, people won't watch it. They'll show up automatically at 6:30.
I'm happy to entertain, as chair of the School and Community Relations and Policy Committee, a different way that we can communicate it to make sure that everyone knows about the hour change. Any ideas? Open up to the floor.
We have social media, which we usually put it out. We could do a phone blast to the community as well.
We'll also talk with the borough, see if the borough can use their messaging mechanism as well.
Yeah, that's probably the best idea. I personally like a robocall to every resident. No, nobody's
There's
laughing.
Oakland Family News. The PTA will post on our behalf a lot too. So there's the Oakland PTA page, the Oakland Family News page. I know we like to keep it sunny and light on the classroom pages, but maybe the room ambassadors can do it too. That, would reach parents, but the Family News would reach for those who have social media, the community. And I like the call.
We could, I didn't think you were joking about the call. I think that's.
No, I
but
was
that's-
joking about the robocall.
Oh, no, I mean, that's typically the way that the mayor will let us know when dates of recycling are changing or anything else. I don't,
Yeah, but you have to sign up for it, so. Whoever calls me every morning,
I
says
don't, I
800
mean,
number, we could use them.
yeah, right, I know. No, I mean, I'm trying to work with, I think it's a valid concern. I think this was difficult to schedule, as we know we had, what was the date that the state gave us? The first, April 11th, I think, to the
Yeah, we have like a
29th.
week to figure it
And we
out
have
and
to have it done by the
re-advertise.
7th, and we're doing it on the 6th. So I think we're doing a great job trying, but again, I think the robocall is a very good idea. Maybe we can, I know that's the borough though, does that, not the board. So I think we'd have to look into how.
Okay, why are we not changing it to 6:30? We don't have a quorum?
It's been advertised, we had members who had conflicts at that time.
Okay.
All right, moving on to item 6, routine board business. Need to get approval of the minutes. Have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. On to item 7.
Excuse me, I think we missed the important dates. On 5?
That's what we were just talking about, they had the board meeting change on it. The bolded item. That's what drew the comment.
Yeah, but we missed muffins with mom.
Oh, okay.
We can do the full rundown. Want to do the full rundown?
I know. That's right.
All right. Item 7, annual appointments.
Me.
That's you, yeah.
All right, Jimmy, you got to hear this again, and you heard it last night.
Yeah.
So those of you who've been with me, and I do this every year, I will speak as quickly as possible. It's a very large section, but with being a pseudo-state agency, there's a lot of mandatory appointments that we have to do on an annual basis, so I'm going to run down them as quickly as possible. 7.01, annual appointments, secretary, auditor, the physician, the attorney. 7.02 is your broker of record for health insurance. 7.03 is your broker of record for non-health insurance lines of coverage, like your workers' comp and liability. 7.04 is architect of record. I do note that for the professional services like architect, auditor, lawyer, doctor, we did get RFPs. Okay? And the evaluations are attached, just FYI. 7.05 is your official bank, First Colonial Community Bank. 7.06 is your official newspapers, Retrospect and the Courier Post. 7.07 is a listing of the who gets to sign what checks into what bank accounts. 7.08 is approving me annually as your qualified purchasing agent and setting the bid limit for $44,000. 7.09 authorizes me, when funds permit, to purchase CDs and banknotes for investment purposes for the school district. 7.10 authorizes me to wire funds by telephone or internet as needed, and that's basically to fund payroll. That's how I fund it. 7.11 authorizes me basically to pay bills when they are due, like if they're in between board meetings, and then I add them to the bills list for ratification prior. This is mostly for the month of July, because we don't meet in July. And then in August, it's ratified. 7.12 is appointing me as the district's custodian of records, and it's approving Steve Burns as the assistant. This way, if we get an Oprah request and I'm out of town and we have 7 days to comply, Steve can jump in and complete that for me. 7.13 is approving John Longo, our supervisor of buildings and grounds, as the school district's asbestos management officer, safety and health designee. Integrated Pest Management Coordinator, Chemical Hygiene Officer, Asbestos Hazardous Emergency Response Act Coordinator. John, I don't know if your name tag's big enough for all those things. 7.14 is approving myself, John Longo, and Steve Burns as the Right to Know coordinators for POSHA. 7.15 is appointing me as the Public Agency Compliance Officer. 7.16 is appointing Windsor Yamamoto as the Compliance Action Officer for Affirmative Action. 7.17 is approving Elizabeth Whitehouse as the Compliance Action Officer for 504s. 7.18 is approving the Omni Group as your third-party administrator for your 403B investment plan tax shelter. 7.19 is approving Mary Hopkins as the homeless liaison. 7.20 is approving Jen Bolden as the issuer of working papers. 7.21 is approving Windsor Yamamoto as the Title IX coordinator. 7.22 is approving the school safety and security plan, and that includes the emergency operations plan, crisis prevention and response procedures, and the emergency management plan. 7.23 is approving Jen Bolden as the school district safety specialist. 7.24 is approving Elizabeth Whitehouse as the Americans with Disability Act officer. 7.25 is just approving the collection and maintenance of student records in accordance with a New Jersey Administrative Code. 7.26 is the annual approval of the special ed programs for Oaklyn. 7.27 is approving the educator practice rubrics, the Charlotte Danielson framework. 7.28 is the annual adoption of the board policies and bylaws that can all be found on our website. 7.29 is a listing of the substitute rates for next school year. And with that, items 7.01 through 7.29 for annual appointments.
That's on a vote, right?
Yes, it's roll.
Roll call.
Oh, you gotta do motion.
Or motion. Motion to accept the items 7.01 to 7.29.
So moved.
Second.
Any
Can I have a
comments?
question?
Yeah.
On the solicitor, who other than the two firms that responded here, did we send this to?
I have to check Parker McKay. I have to check my emails.
Is it on the video?
Those are the ones that replied.
Oh, sorry.
Those are the ones that sent RFPs.
And we did send it to law firms and ask them to respond.
Yes. And we placed it on our website and we email everybody when it's on the website. And we advertised it, and then my county association also advertised that they were available. So I did it 3 different ways this year.
Okay, I'm
Sorry. I didn't realize
sorry,
my
I'm
mic
a
was
little
on.
tense, but we advertised it on our website.
Right, so
But who
it's a
did we-
professional services, so it doesn't have to be bid. So I email it to the current providers, and people who have called and expressed interest in the past, so other law firms. It's on our website, so most professional services have like a listserv where like when something gets posted, they automatically see it and then they send RFPs. Again, I advertised it in the paper, and then the Camden County Association of School Business Officials advertised all the professional
I
services.
had asked that it specifically be sent to law firms, not that we post it somewhere and have them look at it.
And I said I did. I went to see who approved, and from memory, Bill, I wasn't at the finance committee. I know Parker McKay was one, Cape Hart was another. I'd have to go back and check. I mean, off the top of my head, I can't, I don't know.
Okay, I think it's not prudent to employ the same solicitor that Collingswood uses. There's too much potential, I think, for a conflict of interest on the part of the various attorneys. I understand that we have a separate attorney in the firm, but the firm is the same. And I don't think it's appropriate that we employ that same firm.
Just a follow-up question. Have we had the same firm since we started sharing services, or?
Yes. And when I took over, I believe the reason we switched to Cape Hart, I think the firm, I forget the name of the firm that had the business before, I think it was like some bad blood with the Hynella thing. So we advertised and we interviewed, and the Oaklyn board at that time decided to go with Cape Hart. And since then, we've just stayed with Cape Hart. So since, I want to say 2011, 2012, in that time frame.
And we originally had the same attorney, right? And that was something we voted on.
Well, only for like this last school year for about maybe 6 to 8 months. Rob Musili retired in last summer. And then, so for about, I don't know, 6 to 7 months, we had Joe Bentley while they were filling for Rob's spot. So they've hired more attorneys. Now we have Stacy Gorman.
And if we run into a situation where an attorney or where our firm has to, or one of the attorneys has to recuse themselves, there's not much chance that they're going to walk away from Collingswood. We're going to be left to appoint a new attorney for whatever that might be. And at that point, we have a brand-new attorney who doesn't know anything about us, that's going to represent us at that point.
It's for that specific reason I would say you stay with Cape Hart, because bringing in a new attorney after you have almost 20 years with one firm, it's hard to break one in. And I just want to, I'm having a hard time with my memory, but
Bill, whenever they have that level of conflict, they would contract with another law firm for that.
did that with the send and receive. Remember, we had to bring in a different firm to do the send and receive because Cape Hart represented both Collingswood and Oaklyn. So I forget what year it was, 2017, 18, when we expanded the send and receive to include middle school. I think it was Porzio. We brought in a second law firm to work on the send and receive, the expansion of the send and receive relationship, because Cape Hart was conflicted. So we had to bring in a separate law firm to handle that negotiation.
It's case specific, and I think that the challenge, and I can't stress enough, Oaklyn is a small district, a really small district, and so you're not going to get a large number of law firms saying, yeah, we want, like, financially it's not worth it to them. And so we go through, when we talk about our listservs have a dozen or more law firms that specialize in public school work in South Jersey. And so a lot of the folks, they're also not willing to drive very far either. And so when you look at who's in the market, you're looking at 15 to 20 actual firms that do this work in South Jersey that are willing to support districts that are small like Collingswood and Oaklyn.
So since we're small, we settle for whatever we can get.
No, we take a 20-year relationship with a professional firm that has provided us service, and when there has been a conflict, they have actively made sure that they removed themselves from it and brought in outside counsel in order to make sure that Oaklyn was well represented. Now, I'm not here to carry water for law firms. I'm just sharing with you, trying to break in a new law firm, given everything else that we're really trying to accomplish, it's a challenge. And the number one question that a new firm is going to ask us, why are you seeking to change after 20 years? And if we can't answer that question,
Well, I can answer the question.
yeah, but you're
just
leaving,
did.
Bill. I mean, you're one of 9, and you're leaving. And so,
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not voting on this.
no, what I'm saying is that when the time comes, you wouldn't be the person actually answering the question. It would be the board president or the board vice president. You wouldn't be the person answering the question. That's the challenge. That's just my 2 cents.
Okay, but the board president and vice president will be answering it according to the board's wishes.
Yep.
Okay, I still don't think it's prudent to use the same firm, regardless of how long we've had them. There's no sense sending anything out. And firms, and I've been involved in bid situations repeatedly, and where you have one firm that's had an account for a period of time, you have a reluctance on the part of other firms to bid against them. You know, it's the old boys network that you have working with you. So they, you know, they're saying the same thing you're saying. We've been with him for 20 years. You know, what's the chances that they're actually going to move it to us no matter what happens? So they don't bother bidding. And that's a problem we run into. So the fact that it's been 20 years is, I think, rather immaterial. But that's me. I'm one opinion. I think it's imprudent to have the same firm. The board will decide.
Yeah, yeah. All right. We're going to move on to a roll call.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Mrs. Falpel.
Yes.
Mrs. Love.
Yes.
Mrs. Marmion.
Yes.
When everybody's done talking, turn off your mics.
Yeah.
You can only have like 2 on at a time, thank you. This way everybody can be heard. Mr. McMillan.
Yes.
Mrs. Rotondo.
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer.
Yes.
Mr. Stotts.
Yes, except the solicitor where I vote no.
Mr. Tavy.
Yes? Motion passes. Moving on to our first public comment section of the evening. All committee members are reminded to stand, state your name and address, and keep your comment to 5 minutes or less. The purpose for this public comment section is to discuss items listed on the agenda only. Additional, more general comments may be made later on in the meeting during the second public comment section. Public's reminded that attempts to resolve all concerns and complaints should first go through the appropriate staff members and administrators. Any public comment? All right. No public comment. We'll close that out and move on to the superintendent's report.
So good evening, everyone joining us at home and the large crowd in the audience. Section 9.01 is our enrollment report. March of 2024, enrollment was 267. March of 2025 is 269. That is attached. 9.02 and 9.04 are the school safety drill and anti-bullying reports. Those are also attached. Just wanted to just bring just some positive attention. Currently this time of year, and so we are at a season where teachers are receiving their mid-year reports, looking at the growth that our students have shown in both literacy and mathematics. Teachers are adjusting their practices and targeting their instruction in preparation for NJSLA coming up very, very soon. And just wanted to give a shout out and an acknowledgement to how incredibly hard our teachers are working to make sure that our students are able to successfully show what they know. And so this is my appeal to families. Please follow up with your child's teachers. There are very simple complementary things that can be done at home in order to make sure that our kids are not going into this testing season with a degree of anxiety, but more just a sense of pride and a sense of confidence to be able to show what they know. And so please stay in close contact with your child's teachers. Thank you.
Moving on to the Business Administrator Board Secretary report.
All right, item 10.01 this evening is listing of your March 2025 monthly transfers. 10.02 is your board secretary treasurer's reports. 10.03 is a listing of the purchase orders issued during the month of April. And at 10.04 is a listing of the warrants to be paid tomorrow morning pending approval this evening. And that's it.
All right, moving on to item 11, the Finance, Buildings, Grounds Committee report. So for our regular business for approval tonight, we have 11.01, approval of budget transfers, 11.02 and .03, approval of certifications and no over expenditures. 11.04 is approval of the Secretary Treasurer reports, and 11.05 and .06 are approval of the orders and warrants. New business, 11.07 is a motion to authorize the Assistant Superintendent of Business and Operations to seek proposals for a food management company for Oaklyn. 11.08 is motion to approve Hardenberg Insurance Group as our risk management consultant. 11.09 is a motion to approve the 25-26 Public Employer Trust Agreement for the provision of medical, prescription, and dental coverage. 11.10 is a motion to approve participation in the SEMI program for the upcoming school year. 10.11 is a motion to approve the sale of our piano. 11.12 is to officially approve the beautiful garden that our community has installed in the front of the building. And 11.13 is a motion to approve use of facilities request for the OC Panthers basketball. So we're seeking approval of items 11.01 to 11.03. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions? All right, having none, let's move to a roll call.
Mrs. Falpel? Mrs. Love?
Now it's on.
Mrs. Marmion? Yes. Mr. McMillan?
Yes.
Mrs. Rotundo?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Mr. Stotts?
Yes.
Mr. Tavy?
Yes. Motion passes. Moving on to our Curriculum and Personnel Committee, Mr. Schaefer, our chairman.
All right, good evening, everyone. Item 12.01, there are no current field trips for approval. We've approved, I believe, all the field trips in prior meetings. Item 12.02, we're looking to approve Burlington County Special Services to provide one-on-one staffing for a student that began on April 7th through June 16th. At the rate there, you see the attachment to explaining the necessity for the aid there. Item 12.03, we're looking to approve a paid medical leave effective from May 20th through June 20th. Item 12.04 kind of coincides with that. We're looking to approve the replacement teacher contract to Christina Rosser effective May 20th through June 20th. Item 12.05, we're seeking to approve the following student-teacher observation of Kenneth Carson there with Anna Polero. Item 12.06, we're looking to issue contracts to the following administrative staff. This is effective from July 1st through June 30th. Item 12.07, we're looking to issue contracts to the following tenured faculty from September 1st through June 30th. They're all listed there. Item 12.08, looking to issue contracts to the following non-tenured faculty from September 1st through June 30th. Item 12.09, issuing a contract for tenured office personnel, just the one individual listed there from July 1st through June 30th. Item 12.10, looking to issue contract to non-tenured office service personnel, July 1st to June 30th, again for the one individual listed there. We do not have any current substitutes and tutors, item 12.11, and we're looking to approve a travel expense report, which was attached. Few different events there that were all for the purpose of improving instruction. So we are looking for approval of items 12.01 through 12.12.
Do you have a motion?
Second?
And seconded, any comments or questions?
Yeah, believe it or not, I have a question. Very generally, on 12.02, the Burlington County Special Services, where we're changing the aid, I guess, very generally, somebody tell us why that's necessary?
If the child's IEP calls for an aid,
Maybe I misread it.
we are required. So the districts have two choices. We can send them one of our own, or the school that we're sending them to, sometimes they just charge you for the aid. So in this particular instance, we're just being charged for the aid for the rest of the school year. This is probably in the child's IEP. It's mandated.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I read it as Burlington County was providing that service to us and charging us, and now we're changing to whoever the contractor is that we use.
The child's at Burlington County Special Services. So Burlington County Special Services is providing an aid. We're not providing the aid through our company, ESS. The child doesn't attend in Oaklyn.
No, honestly, I understand that, but this, as I read it, we're going to start providing the aid through ESS.
No, ESS is not mentioned in this at all.
Previously, but not currently. It was previously filled by ESS, but not currently.
Say that again?
Previously filled by ESS, but not anymore.
Who is going to do it now?
Burlington County Special
Burlington
Services
County. I
School
got it
District
backwards.
at
Okay, I'm sorry.
$259.30 a day.
Never mind.
Just a quick comment on item 12. I'm excited about this. I wanted to share it with the community. We have a group of teachers who are participating in a series of professional development webinars on Google Classrooms, which is pretty exciting because it'll allow them to kind of coach their colleagues in the application of the technology tools that we have. So, one of the things that we've talked about a lot over the years as a board is the efficacy of our technology department and how quickly are device repairs being done or needs being met. And a lot of what the tech department has previously, in addition to having to deal with the hardware, is to assist teachers in, how do I do this or how do I do that, where do I click kind of thing. And so, having a group of teachers who are the experts in the classrooms now having this training will help the tech department in terms of what they need to do with the hardware and really allow us to be more efficient and effective with what we're doing with the technology because it's coming from teacher to teacher. So just thought that was a really cool thing on there, so just wanted to share. Any other comments? All right, on a roll call.
Mrs. Falpel?
Yes.
Mrs. Love?
Yes.
Mrs. Marmion?
Yes.
Mr. McMillan?
Yes.
Mrs. Rotundo?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Mr. Stotts?
Yes.
Mr. Tavy?
Yes. And motion passes. Moving on to item 13, School Community Relations and Policy Committee. Ms. Marmion.
Hi, item 13.01 is the report from the Collingswood Board. Mr. McMillan.
Good evening. All right. Last night we attended the Collingswood Board of Education. There was 119 items on the agenda, so I'm going to cover a couple of them.
Thank you.
There was a presentation for the counseling department by Principal Newman and Kim Hallenbach, one of the lead counselors. The high school has 4 counselors and 1 secretary. They've already raised over $3 million in scholarships for the students and looking to get double that at least, if not more, by the end of the year. They've added new courses for the 25-26, including aerospace engineering, music and film, music as a mirror of history, which I think is pretty cool, and a few others that, sound great. But they're also doing dual credits with partnering colleges, so that's great. I can't remember the actual colleges that they were, but, they get partial credit for the college as a senior in high school. They announced May 5th is going to be the official budget meeting, which is the day before ours. And then Thursday, May 8th is the roundtable. That's going to be at the Collingswood Library Community Room for anyone to ask questions about, how the budget's going to affect them and the details. We were joined by Dane Coder as a student representative. He was there in attendance that night. Dr. McDowell went over the $8.7 million gap, he explained it one more time for the community. I believe we got 3 teams that are going for the Odyssey of the Mind World Competition, which is pretty interesting. That's been going on since the 70s. So there's the team Space Rats, Larry Con, and Team Hamster, if I heard that right. So, and they have a GoFundMe page that's going to be going live. So for travel expenses and stuff. What?
Oh, grade level. Yeah, how old are they?
I don't know.
They're like middle, right?
So the state champions were all high school, and then the one team was also a high school team, and then the third team was a middle school and high school team.
We had a number of public comments. And most of them were all pushing the contracts for the teachers. There were a few complaining about the taxes, but more of the same that Collingswood goes through. President Chu agreed that, the teachers and the students are in hardship right now while we're making this decision. Beth Ann went through her 32 bullets that she did tonight. She did even better tonight. Practice makes perfect. They approved a number of field trips, including the Museum of American Revolution, the Morris Arboretum, Franklin Institute, and more for this year. That was high school and elementaries. Project graduation by the high school PTA is going to be at the Bolero, the big event on June 20th in Cherry Hill. Also bringing on 3 new social workers, one of them being a volunteer. They're also bringing on a German student who's going to volunteer to help and shadow the German teacher. That's interesting. That's great. And then ultimately we went into to more public comment, and that was pretty much it for the evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 13.02 is the PTA liaison report. Are you gonna
Muffins with
hand it to me? Yeah, okay. So unfortunately, I was unable to attend the PTA meeting, but I love to catch up with them on Facebook, and they post diligently. So the last meeting was on April 1st. Some of the things that have been going on that they've been advertising, there was an awesome domino challenge with cereal boxes. That was a fundraiser. I mean, it was raising food for the food pantry, right? But it was a really great. Check out the video on their Facebook page. They have a few things going on, a few fundraisers and exciting things. So the Hershey Park fundraiser, which is always pretty successful, just ended. This Friday, May 2nd at 7:30 on the front lawn is Muffins with Mom, and then on Friday, June 8th will be Donuts with Dad. There's a Phillies night, Oakland PTA Phillies night coming up on June 9th. There's also going to be another blood drive on June 14th. Teacher Appreciation Week is coming up, so do check out the Facebook page. There are opportunities to sign up and help. And I think their next, I don't know when their next meeting is, so I apologize, PTA, but I'm sure they will post about it, so join the Facebook group. May 7th, sorry. That would be Wednesday, May 7th. Got it. Thank you, Ms. Bolden. I think I got everything. It's one thing.
Do we know if Teacher Appreciation Week comes with a different theme every day?
I can't put my mic on.
Sorry.
I don't know. I know that there's a call for people who want to help out and add their ideas. So I think it's kind of open for things, yeah.
Okay.
Are you volunteering yourself? Lila, are you hearing this?
I'd be glad to say that my idea is we don't do a theme every day because it drives me crazy at 8 p.m. That's just personal.
Well, I think we'll do whatever we think will make the teachers and staff super happy, and the PTA does an incredible job with it every year. Item 13.03 is the OMASAC report from Mr. Tavy.
And I don't have any updates this month. I'll circle back to Mr. Scher and get us next month.
Item 13.04 is the Oakland Education Foundation report from Mr. Schaefer.
No significant update, but I did reach out, I did speak with a member of OEF. They don't have a next meeting planned at the moment. I know their last kind of meeting was the meet and greet that they had back in January. But in the course of the conversation, we do believe there are possibly some, some funds that we could look into. So I want to verify the amount that perhaps is there, and then see if maybe we could use that to the benefit of some of the needs we have here. So, so contact has been made. Don't know when the next meeting is, but we'll go from there.
Great, thank you. Item 13.05 are policies up for the second read. There are three. 5111 is eligibility of resident and non-resident students. 5710 is student grievances, and 8500 is food services. So we are seeking approval for one item, item 13.05.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any comments or questions? Just on my end, I wanted to thank Ms. Marmion and Mr. DeMarco, who's not here tonight, for all their work they did with the one policy, 5111. That was
all Aiden. Thank you, Aiden.
it was a bit of a doozy, so thank you both for tackling that. All right, on a roll call.
Mrs. Falpel? Mrs. Love?
Yes.
Mrs. Marmion?
Yes.
Mr. McMillan?
Yes.
Mrs. Rotundo?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Mr. Stotts?
Yes.
Mr. Tavy?
Yes. All right, motion approves. Moving on to item 14, miscellaneous. We have our HIB reports, 14.01 and 14.02 is our bus evacuation drill. We have a motion to approve those items.
So moved.
Second.
And on a roll call.
Mrs. Falpel?
Yes.
Mrs. Love?
Yes.
Mrs. Marmion?
Yes.
Mr. McMillan?
Yes.
Mrs. Rotundo?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Mr. Stotts?
Yes.
Mr. Tavy?
Yes. Motion approved. Moving on to item 15, this is our second public participation section for the meeting. Community members can discuss any topics during this section. Please remember to stand, state your name and address, and keep comments to 5 minutes or less. The public is reminded that attempts to resolve all concerns and complaints should first go through the appropriate staff members and/or administrators. Any public comments?
Hello, my name is Kyle Jacobowski. I live over at 401 Oaklyn Ave. I don't feel like we, the taxpayers, are getting the full details in your budget presentation or in general. Option C on your budget presentation indicated that the district could bring back previously cut staff. Who? How many? Why are they needed? Who will they help? You have 6 learning acceleration teachers per your website. The budget presentation had a slide about positive behavior trends and then a chart about chronic absenteeism, but nothing about discipline referrals, which could have shown an actual positive behavior trend. Further, there was no data for this year, even though we're more than 2/3 of the way through the year. You couldn't have shown us any positive behavior trends for this current school year, or maybe there aren't any. We're just left to guess. Option A indicated that the STEAM program can be brought back, but you haven't told us what the STEAM program is. And when I searched STEAM on the district website, there were no results. So what is the STEAM program? How will this program help students grow? Have you told us anything about the science program? How are the students doing? The budget presentation started with ELA program highlights, which equaled no real change the past 3 years. 45% of the students are not proficient, basically. But the taxpayers should just give the district more money. As for the meeting this past Saturday, it was posted. but it wasn't on your website, on the latest news section. It was posted on a door at a school where there was no school that week. I guess you didn't want people to attend the meeting. Now, going through the website, I did find one positive, the kindergarten supply list. It said 1 pack of Ticonderoga pencils. And why do we want those? Because Ticonderoga pencils, the points don't break easily. The pencils sharpen easily. A single sentence detail with 2 reasons would do wonders for each point of need for the budget presentation. But we didn't get that. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other public comments?
Matt Hamilton on Eden Ave. I think one of the 3 what-if scenarios based on the previous meeting, one financial metric that I'd be very curious about, because would be who's going to retire within the next year to 5 years. I think the 3 main points that were presented to us was teacher, staff, just overall just trying to think this through of how to measure that amount. Because if we're replacing teachers when they retire at the top tier, then you're going to go higher entry level, or possibility of bringing somebody in at that entry level salary. So I guess how is that funding going to be allocated? That's pretty much it. But thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? All right. Hearing none, we will close our public comment section. Moving on to item 16, motion to adjourn. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. We are now adjourned. Thank you, everybody.